Well, we are back here for the Duluth Huskies post-game show here on the Northwoods League Baseball Network. The Huskies win it in walk-off fashion for the second consecutive day by a score of 6-5 as we welcome you into the Crow's Nest here at Wade Stadium. Evan Palace alongside my broadcast partner here in Kyle Morrison. Kyle, we just went through the ultimate ride, my friend, as St. Cloud scored 5 runs in the second inning, but the Huskies pitching staff was able to stifle them the rest of the way, and Duluth kept chipping and chipping away at the deficit. And in the bottom of the ninth, Jared Medham, who's been so solid as of late, gets the job done with an RBI ground rule double.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about the magical hit that the Huskies were missing earlier in the game, how all their walk-offs were either walks, sac flies, so on and so forth. Well, there it was, the magical hit off the bat of Jared Medham. And what really impressed me about this Huskies win was just how resilient they were the entire time. I mean, they had the bases loaded with nobody out in the 7th inning. Then they had runners at first and second with nobody out in the 8th inning. They didn't score in either of those innings. And I know the two of us, after those innings, we were like, wow, those were gut punches. That's going to be hard to come back from. And yet they did. And they scored 3 runs against possibly the best closer in the entire Northwoods League, who had only given up 2 runs the entire year before that. Really was the best win of the year for the Huskies to do this against the best team in the Great Plains and with the stuff that was going on around the game.
It really felt like all the storylines we touched on in the pregame show today. Jared Medham ends up being the hero. We touched on him being fantastic ever since the All-Star break has come to a close. We talked about the bullpen for the Huskies, but you can even talk about the starting pitching for Duluth really coming into play overall, with Alex Potter really getting beat up there, but then he shuts the door the rest of the way, and then the bullpen followed.
Yeah, Alex Potter, we talked about during the game. He kept the Huskies in the game. That's all you can do as a starting pitcher. He gave up those 5 runs in the second inning, but he didn't let that faze him, and he closed out the game with a very, very impressive stretch where he retired 12 of the last 13 that he faced. And so Alex Potter, another great start for the Huskies, although he gave up those 5 runs. He's a big part of the pitching staff now. He's one of their aces, and he's going to be a big part of this Huskies team that's going to try and win a Northwoods League championship.
Well, we have the opportunity. Let's do it. Let's head it down to Wyatt Kopelman on the field. He's with the hero today, Jared Medham.
Thanks so much, guys. Wyatt Kopelman joined alongside Huskies second baseman Jared Medham, the hero of another walk-off win for the Huskies against the top division round St. Cloud Rocks here in 2022. Jared, a big one for you here, a big confidence booster. What was going through your mind there, giving the Huskies another walk-off win today?
Nothing really, just trying to win it for the fellas.
Winning it for the fellas. The Huskies victorious 6-5 here at Wade Stadium. They sweep the St. Cloud Rocks. Jared, you are yet to facing college talent at the official D1 level, but coming into the Northwoods League season, what has this experience been like for you? How do you sum this up this year?
Year's not done yet. We still got a lot of work to do, playoffs, all that, but I'm having a blast out here.
The Huskies victorious here, and you get a win against the St. Cloud Rocks, both in walk-off fashion, a series sweep at Wade Stadium. What does this say about you guys and your resilience going into St. Cloud tomorrow?
We're looking to win.
You're looking to win. Well, the Huskies victorious here. Jared Medham playing hero ball today. The Huskies victorious yesterday on a walk-off sacrifice fly from J.D. Rogers. Lastly, Jared, before you go, the Huskies really coming back strong in the second half after a little bit of a slow start after winning the first half. What does this kind of win say about you guys and your mentality going forward?
We're not done yet.
Well, there you have it. Jared Medham, the rising freshman at St. Mary's College, coming away with a walk-off RBI base knock. Jared, thanks for your time. Sending it back to you guys upstairs.
Thank you, Wyatt, and thank you, Jared, for that interview. And, man, Jared Medham, obviously, he's the hero with that double RBI style to walk things off for the Huskies back-to-back days. But if you go to that ninth inning, the Huskies get 3 runs on 5 hits, and it felt like what really got the momentum going was that Peyton Powell RBI triple that just felt like it ignited this stadium and the Huskies dugout.
Like any good team win, there was a multitude of heroes for the Huskies today. You had the Peyton Powell RBI triple. The at-bat that I thought was the most impressive was the Eddie Satiski RBI single that ultimately tied the game up. He was down 0-2 in that at-bat, and he was able to battle all the way back. And the one thing that Sadisky did that I thought was really interesting is he made an adjustment. He choked up really far on that bat, farther than you normally see modern baseball players do. And the reason he did that is because Grillo was throwing 96, and he wanted to be able to shorten up and hit it, and that's exactly what he did. He hit one right out to Will Worthington, got a little lucky, a bad hop that went over Will Worthington's head, but that was just an absolutely fantastic at-bat from the newest Husky, Eddie Sadisky.
Man, it was a whirlwind, a roller coaster type of game. So let's do all the highlights right here for you right now on the Huskies post-game show. Started in the top of the second inning where the Rocks really got things going on a home run there off of Ethan Mann's bat, an absolute blast, his 7th home run of the season.
Yeah, that was an absolute bomb. In the second inning, it was a good inning for the St. Cloud Rocks. Worthington, he's going to come up here with an RBI single that scored the second run of the inning for the St. Cloud Rocks after that bomb from Ethan Mann. And then after the Will Worthington RBI, the rally just continued here for St. Cloud. John Nett, he comes up afterwards with an RBI single to make it 3-0. This is the part of the game where we're really starting to think that St. Cloud might have this under control.
Yeah, it felt like the Rocks were going to be able to grab that lead and really put a stranglehold on things, as the Rocks right there with that ground rule double, basically what we saw to end the game, but that gets out of play right there to get the Rocks up to 5-0 at that stint of the ball game. Early in the game, however, so the Huskies were looking to get things rolling again for themselves. Here's Jared Medham. He gets an infield base hit here. Smooth play by Worthington, but he'll get the RBI regardless to go up 5-1. And then this play right here, that kind of got some momentum going for the Huskies. The throwing error from Dawson Martin eventually eludes Keithley out and right. So Cam Frederick is just going to stroll the base pass from first to home as he just trots home to get the Huskies within 3.
A throwing error that might as well have been an RBI double. And Eddie Rosario in the 5th inning then with an RBI single to make it 5-3. A little duck snort right in front of the right fielder. And so now it's a 2-run game, and the Huskies are starting to think we might be able to come back.
And the Huskies had multiple chances through that middle portion of the game, but here's Caden Edwards really putting the hammer down, working through that 7th inning, getting out of the jam there with runners on 2nd and 3rd to keep the score right where it was at.
Peyton Powell, a very intelligent hitter here with a bunt to load the bases in the 7th. The Huskies would end up not scoring here in the 7th inning, and at that point, it felt like a gut punch that the Huskies might not be able to come back from.
They don't score right there because of the 5-2-3 double play turned by the Rocks, so the Huskies eventually would come up empty. Nolan Lebimoff comes in relief. He pitches 2 innings for the Huskies and gets a big play right here from J.D. Rogers, sliding grab to keep the game within 2 to set up the 9th inning for the Huskies eventually. But it would go to the bottom of the 8th here. This one's roped. Absolutely fantastic play. 4-6-3 double play. How about Magnum Hofstetter?
Yeah, at that point, it felt like another gut punch. But the Huskies, they didn't give up. And despite the fact that the best closer in the Great Plains was in the game, Chase Grillo, here's Peyton Powell's RBI double to make it 5-4. And that was just the beginning of the story in the 9th inning as the Huskies were able to finish off their most impressive win of the year with what happened next after this double.
Yeah, so here's Rosario. He's going to end up striking out, but that sets up Satisky to stay alive. This one looked like it was going to be the final out of the game and then takes a wild hop, and Worthington can't hold on to it. So the Huskies there get the game tied, and then Medham puts this one high in the sky and it bounces just within the line to end this contest. And then the Huskies coming out and absolutely putting on a celebration right there, trying to chase down the hero in Jared Medham.
Yeah, wow. Just an incredible win. All kinds of superlatives you can put on this one. This feels like it's a huge momentum builder for a Huskies team. You're already talking about a team that has now won the first 4 games coming out of the All-Star break, 5 games in a row, and this is by far the best the Huskies have looked since they won that first half title. And I'm even willing to say, based on the fact that their last 3 wins have been 1-run wins. In fact, their last 4 wins have either been 1-run or 2-run wins. I think this is the best the Huskies have looked all season, considering how their bullpen is pitching. They really do look more like a complete team right now than I think they have throughout the entirety of the campaign, based upon how good their relievers are looking right now. It feels like that bullpen is no longer a liability. It's something that's more of a strength.
The Huskies have been playing gritty baseball as of late. Let's just polish off with some line scores for the night. St. Cloud, 5 runs on 13 hits, 1 error. They left 7 men on the base paths throughout the contest. Huskies, 6 runs on 12 hits, no errors on their behalf. They left 11 men out on the base path. The win goes to Nolan Levimoff, who was really fantastic at keeping the game right where it was at, and it eventually paid off for Duluth with the walk-off victory. His record now stands at 4 wins and 1 loss to his name, and then the loser, Chase Grillo, picks up his first loss of the season. He goes to 1-1. No save to speak of in this contest. And that'll basically do it for us here on the Duluth Huskies post-game show. For my broadcast partner in Kyle Morrison, I'm Evan Powell saying thank you for tuning in to today's contest. Whether you're able just to catch an inning or two with us, or you're here with us through this entire roller coaster of a game this afternoon, all 9, we thank you for your support and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We will talk to you again when we're here next with the Duluth Huskies on the Northwoods League Baseball Network.